whatever you enjoy, whatever you read, whatever you play, everything you will be able to enjoy, but in limit. If something is crossing limit, if something is crossing line, then it will be very, very harmful. Here in this slide you can see a person who is like in some tension or botheration, like he is having a headache also. So researchers have found that the excessive use or the too much use of internet can make you unsocial or unhealthy. What is the meaning of unsocial? As I have said, as we have seen in the previous paragraph, that internet is actually a virtual world. It is not a real world. Whatever you chat on Facebook, whatever you watch on internet, everything is virtual. It is not real. Actually it is digitally, technologically and scientifically you can say presented in front of you. But if you just look at the original and the real world around you, it is real world. But so many times people consider the virtual world to be the real and real world to be the virtual. When this happens, person seems in this particular condition so many times. So net surfing or playing makes people forget others around them and develops unhealthy habits. When person keeps on surfing, when person keeps on chatting, when person keeps on playing games or so many other internet exercises which are actually not useful, and we need to discriminate, we need to differentiate between two words. I will give you two words. One is need and one is want. Our needs are very limited, but our wants are limitless. We might need only 2 pairs of clothes, but we want many. Similarly, when you will be able to discriminate or differentiate between your need and your want, if you really want to use internet for some positive use, or really you want to get some information that is about your academics or about your any other personal things which are really important, then it is fine. But if you are just passing your time, actually you are not doing something important on internet, you are just getting addicted of surfing or chatting, you are just becoming the germs of internet, then it is really, really harmful. It can bring you harm economically, it can bring you harm socially, it can bring you harm mentally also. Mentally also people get disturbed. They so many times they get disease like insomnia or something like that, and entire schedule, their entire day schedule and timetable is disturbed due to that. So never let this happen. So when you are involved in internet or surfing or chatting crossing the line, then it will be very, very harmful. It will happen that person will not be able to pay attention to their family members also. So many times it happens with young children when they are very much involved in computer. And nowadays students, particularly children, they have forgotten certain games. Young generation, they do not know what is hide and seek. Children do not know what is playing with marbles. But they do know how to play video games. They do know how to operate Facebook. They do know how to operate Yahoo mails and other things. They do know how to operate mobiles. They do know how to operate entire computer or internet. But they do not know actually about the real games with which we used to play with stones and dust. So stone and dust games are now completely, we can say, they have disappeared. And children, current generation, they have been completely involved in plastic world, or you can say the virtual world that is actually not real. So to say, the main intention here is to explain through this paragraph is that internet and technology and science, yes, we do accept that our current generation need to be updated with science and technology. But each and every time we need to keep in our mind that excessive use of this internet will be the most harmful factor, and it might land them in a dangerous situation. Never let this happen ever. Please have a slide, and let us move on with the next sentence that tells us surfing for long hours create RSI. Now comes the word RSI, that is called repetitive stress. Here stress, by stress we mean mental stress. Mentally person gets disturbed. Symptoms of this particular state is like that you feel restlessness. As you can see in this picture, person might get severe headache, person might not sleep properly, he cannot sleep properly, he cannot concentrate on his works properly, he cannot concentrate in his duty or job or works properly, he cannot concentrate on his family members also, he cannot enjoy family life also or personal life also, because he is very much involved in virtual world, and he might get weaker eyesight, so on and so forth. There are many other symptoms. Waiting up for long nights means vigilance. Waiting up for long nights disturbs our biorhythm and makes people believe that the virtual cyber world to be the real world. So here the word biorhythm is very interesting. Biorhythm is actually a word that represents your regular activities, like you getting up early morning, then your hunger, then you're walking, you're running, you're working regularly, all these processes, all these actions which you do regularly on your regular base, it makes your biorhythm system. So this entire biorhythm system is also disturbed due to RSI, that is repetitive stress injury. And yes, there are so many factors responsible for this particular RSI, that excessive use of internet, it may be overload work, it may be some other tension, but here we are talking about excessive use of internet. So it is possible that person might get RSI due to so many other reasons also, but here our topic is internet, and therefore we focus on the harmful, or we can say the negative results or consequences of excessive use of internet. So when the use of internet crosses its limit, when it is more than required or requirement, it turns into such negative effects. Let us have some last portion through the next slide. Here also you can see a lady who seems to be disturbed. She is sitting in front of her PC, and you can say that she is holding her forehead. She might be suffering from the severe headache, and here we want to say that this lady is using internet excessively. Very important word is coming in the next line, that slackness creeps into their daily duties. The meaning of slackness is laziness. You might think that using internet or using computer you get energy, or using internet you get knowledge. Yes, you do get knowledge, no doubt in that, but excessive use of internet first makes your eyesight weaker, second it causes headache, third mentally you are disturbed, you cannot concentrate on your work, as I have said already in the previous slide, other symptoms. And as a result of all this, the sum total of everything turns into slackness. Slackness means laziness. Here we are not talking about that laziness, that person is willingly not able to do, or he is not willing to do the work. Here the laziness or slackness is because of the excessive use of internet, that actually would not have come to your body or in your mental level if you had not used internet more than requirement. So excessive use of internet turns your body, your mental power, everything, and slackness creeps. Creeps word is very important, or it is very interesting also. Actually the word creep means, when you must have seen snake. So when it walks, that the style of walking snake is actually called creeping. So here the word slackness creeps into their daily duties means that then person will not be able to concentrate on his or her regular base works or duties. And the most dangerous, very very we can say harmful aspect of, or the result of this entire excessive use of internet is family life gets disturbed or ignored. Because whatever the person does, person earns money, person works a lot, person takes risk, person goes outside his comfort zone, person does duty for hours and hours, ultimately to earn money. He earns money or she earns money for a good, you can say a good life, happy life, for upbringing the children and taking care of family members. Now ultimately whatever we are doing for our family, and ultimately if that family is not happy with us, then what is the use of that money? isn't it? So here very important thing is to understand, particularly to those young students, that when tomorrow they will become adult, or when they will have responsibilities of their families, when you will be involved so much so in the virtual world, then you will not be able to concentrate on your family, for whom actually you are working a lot, for whom actually you are working hard a lot. So for you or for any other reader, this may be just a simple lesson about internet, but from this particular lesson we are learning so many things. So do not just take this lesson as a lesson. This lesson tells you a lot about. So do not just believe in bookish knowledge. Do not just let this particular thing be in book only. Do not be limited. Think about all these things seriously, and think practically about all these things. You must have seen so many people involved and victimized, getting hurt or due to all these things. So you need to be alert, you need to be careful. Let us see what is said then in the same slide. It is said that family life gets ignored, often it becomes the cause of breaking of the families. That's why we have to bear in mind that real world is more important than the virtual world. We have to keep in our mind that the real world is actually the real world, and as we saw in the first slide also, we should not take virtual world as the real world. Once you do this, you have to lose a lot, and if we can stop this to happen, we can get a lot from our life. So yes, it is true that we are surrounded by science and technology, we are surrounded by so many internet facilities. Yes, it is true, there is no doubt in it that internet makes our life easy and comfortable. Internet has made so many things easy for us. Internet has made us possible to access those places which were otherwise impossible to reach. Yes, we accept all these things, and we salute all these facilities also, and we accept them. But with that, we also need to keep in our mind that we will never ever use all these things negatively, and we will try our level best to make a useful and positive use of this particular internet. So here with this lesson, there is a message to all my students, to all my listeners and the viewers, that let us take this entire tool that is called internet positively. Also look at its negative aspects and do not concentrate on it. This lesson is not only for the students, it is also for the teachers and the parents, that we need to teach our students and children properly how to make a positive use of this internet. And I hope that all my listeners, all my viewers, particularly especially my students, really enjoyed this lecture. I hope they got some important stuff, some important details from this particular lecture, and I have tried my level best to present this lecture in a proper way. Once again, I thank all the viewers. Once again, I thank all my listeners. I also thank all my supporters who made this entire thing possible for me. I also thank Gujarat Technological University for projecting this wonderful operation, particularly for the students, and with hope that particular thing will certainly be helpful to my students and the listeners. I end my lecture. Thank you so much.